Okay. So last, you travelled to the Field of Towers and made your way after making your way to the Aeon Priest's Enclave. You then set towards the Spinneret early in the morning, which is the sort of central hub of the. You'd make your way through the field to the bottom tower in the sort of early morning cool, because the Aeon told you that the creatures of the Insidious Choir were active in the morning, and so been in your best to make your way out while still cool and as active. At the bottom of the viral host who engaged you and started to sort of call for help. But at the end, you'd defeated those threats that were coming for you. You defeated those that were coming for you and ran to the bottom level of the tower. And that's where we pick up. You're all in the bottom of the tower. And all in the bottom of the tower, and no sign of any creatures outside coming towards you. You think you might have got away with it.
We hope.
You hope.
We won't know until we go inside.
Yeah, considering our rather less than sneaky entrance, that's nice.
You kidding? That sneaking's awesome. We just need a box next time. We might actually have a better chance.
So as you've made your way into the bottom level of the tower, you could see a ramp at some point leading up on the outside of the tower, but also the one leading on the inside of the tower. So it's you can sort of tell that the ramp goes inside of the tower for part of it, and then there's a ramp outside for part of it, and then it goes inside again. So on this bottom level, which is about 50 feet across, about 15 meters across this level, you can see a ramp leading up, spiraling around the tower for about another sort of 30 meters before you, about another 30 meters before it hits another floor. There's nothing really on this bottom level that you can see. There's no door to seal off from the outside. Where would you like to go from here?
What was the Aeon Priests gave us? Was it an explosive, or was it like a decontamination device or something?
So what you've got is the Aeon Priests gave you an explosive device and a detonator. They explained you how to operate it, but not how it sort of actually works, like what sort of explosive it is. Scrapper, I'll let you examine it with an intellect roll to determine what it does.
What's the difficulty on this one?
I just roll. It's quite simple.
Just roll. Cool. Okay. Hmm. 19.
19. Okay. So you have a look at the device, and after tracing some of its wiring back through an array, it sort of looks like it's cobbled together from a couple of parts. One part you can easily identify as a receiver for the detonator transmitter that you've got. Mm-hmm. Another part you can identify as, just something that keeps all the energy contained. And then there's a small little ring device that, as you sort of pick it up and move around, you can see it's actually slowly rotating of its own accord, and there's a light inside of it.
I'll educate the rest of the party on what I've found from it, so everyone knows.
Okay, so what you think this explosive device does is it's not so much an explosive as it will basically take a chunk. You think of about 6 meters in a sort of cylinder shape. You think it will basically take a chunk of stuff and ship it to another dimension quite violently. So you don't think it's an explosive in the sense of it's going to go bang. It's actually going to sit something out of phase from your current dimension.
Yeah, I sort of let out a disappointing sigh now that I figured that out.
So it's not going to. The good news is it's not going to fling debris everywhere. It's not going to blow the place up, but it is going to, still destroy what you need to destroy, or at least render it out of commission. And the little transmitter you've got, you think probably will only last the range of a couple of floors of the tower. So you think you'll have to, plant it and then go down a couple of levels and let it go before you leave the tower, unless you can boost the signal somehow.
And we don't really have any sort of, we didn't really get told of any timer, did we? I don't think we did.
No, it's only it's a triggered detonator, nothing else.
Right. Okay. Let's hope we don't get caught in it when we let it go.
So there's this ramp leading up around the inside of the tower to the next level. Would you like to start heading up?
Yep, I would.
Yes.
Crossbow drawn and heading up.
Okay. So you move up the tower, sort of winding your way up. As you move your way up the tower, you can see through the sort of honeycomb structure in the outside. You can see into the outside world. You can't see any creatures outside that are taking active interest in the tower. You think there are some off in a distance that you can sort of spot that are on one errand or another, but there's nothing sort of running your way or scrambling towards you. You make your way up to level 1 of the tower, and there's the ramp leads up through a hatch that slides back on this level. And as you slide it back, sort of what's your marching order? Who have you got in front?
Blogs, do you want to take point? Or
Sure.
Rusev can take point.
Okay, so Blogs, you slide the hatch back and peer your head up into it. The room appears to be covered in sort of miscellaneous junk and boxes and sort of storage. But also up here, you see 2 of these fellas.
Oh, God.
Nope.
Oh, no. Flubbers multiplied.
They haven't noticed you yet.
Blogs, what do you see?
What do your flexing eyes see?
I think, guys, that we should talk quietly.
What?
We should talk quietly.
Speak
There's
up, I can't
danger.
hear you.
Ahead.
I'm wearing a towel.
I basically just ask, trouble?
2 of the
From
guys.
where you are, Bugs, you're back to the the hand signals. If you don't want to,
Right.
so
yeah,
you can do
okay.
3 words worth of hand signals at a time.
Okay, go for it.
Dancing. Marmalade. potato.
Did he eat
Or
something
just
that we
nod at you
shouldn't have
guys.
eaten when we came here?
How wide is this ramp? Can there be like multiple people walking across its width?
You can probably sneak up behind him. You won't really be from this part of the ramp. It's only a sort of metre and a half wide, so you can sort of move past each other, but you can't. You won't be able to sort of get into combat on there, at least here.
I've got it. He was signaling the safety dance.
So it must be safe up ahead, right?
Exactly.
I just glance at Fetus blankly, just like, what? Got it from that.
It's an ancient folk song. As you look into the room, you can't really see any way around it. So, like, they're sort of in the center of the room, and the ramp continues up on the other side.
We didn't really notice last time how these things were able to see, did we?
No, it came for us immediately. I can't really say anything, because don't really
But you
know
can-
what it is we see, because only Clark sees it.
Barks, would you like to communicate anything else to the rest of the party, or wave someone up to take a look as well?
I push my way through the rest of the party till I'm right up behind Blargs, and I take a peek.
Okay, so you can see two of them across the room, then perhaps not as big as the one you encountered on the train, or that one might just have seemed bigger, because it was a bit more in your face. They are sort of moving around on tasks within the room. You get the sense that they know where everything in the room is. Like, you remember the one on the train had and the other creatures had to sort of spit those traces at you. These ones feel quite assured of how they're moving around the room.
All right. I pull Blargs away from the hatch and motion for everyone to kind of move back down the ramp.
I'll start backing off then.
We've got a bit of a situation. I explain
about the potatoes.
I explain that two of the giant gelatinous hulks from the train are occupying the room above. Occupying and aware of the room above.
There's no other way around, is there?
We can't go over it.
There's only one way to move up the tower that you found.
I reckon I could get past them, but I don't know about you guys.
It might be worth a shot if you're confident in going alone.
I'm just worried it'll... Sorry, go.
I was just going to say that one on the train only really seemed to sort of basically highlight us when they spat those balls of light at us, and as long as we don't get spotted immediately, then they shouldn't really be able to see us. And yeah, hopefully that's the idea.
Wasn't that one that we spotted on the train capable of communicating with those other drones, I guess you can call them, and got them to target us a little bit more? You think they'll call for reinforcements if we try to take them on?
They don't see us in the traditional sense. and they're moving around the room without sensors. So everything's where they expect it to be. As long as we stay
So
out of
let's
their
just-
path, we may not be sensed at all.
I reckon we could probably sneak past them. I mean, those ones in the train didn't really see us so much as they sensed us through the vibrations, I believe it was.
So let's
Okay.
not vibrate.
So we're going to be very, very careful when we step.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
probably scout the
I'm up.
room over for you guys.
If you want to go ahead, if you think it'd be helpful.
Okay, so you'd like to try and sneak ahead?
Yes, and I would
Can
like
I
to...
scan first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, what are you scanning for?
Any techno junk that might be around that could, yeah.
Okay, so you use your scan ability in the room. You sort of walk back up the ramp and scan into the room. You think there might be you can sort of detect two things other than the viral the viral creatures that are in there. One is you think there's something coming from behind one of the boxes on the other side of the room that feels quite sort of powerful and quite like like a cipher. It's giving off like a cipher vibe. There's also some other little faint thing twitching that you can feel.
Interesting. Are there any loose objects that I can see?
The room is sort of covered in junk, and
Covered in junk.
yeah, like in amongst the boxes and everything in the room, there's all sorts of bits and pieces and all that. One thing you can see some bags of flour just from where you are. You can see uprooted plants, buckets of water. There's a bird's nest sitting in there somewhere that looks like it's been pulled out of a tree.
Okay. In that case, provided the rest of the party is okay with it, I'd like to throw my hedge magic into the room and see if I can... I just want to make sure that we're not going to upset these creatures by moving around in the room. So I'd like to move something other than ourselves at first.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up a bit of a map for you. Not there. Okay. Let me find my dudes. Okay. So there's two dudes sort of pottering around the room there. Oh, there he comes. Once my copy paste works. Two dudes pottering around the room, both sort of fiddling on tasks. It looks like they're stacking boxes, shifting them around, sort of not organising the room, or at least it doesn't feel organised from what you can see. But they're doing something in there, and you are coming from over here.
Yep.
That's the sort of down ramp, and then there's the up ramp on the other side there, and there's sort of junk strewn all around the room.
Alrighty. Yeah, I just want to see if I can get their attention, maybe.
Okay, you want to draw their attention to you, or draw their attention across the room somewhere?
Across the room somewhere. But I don't necessarily want to draw their attention. I just want to see if that's possible.
Okay, you can use your hedge magic. Where are you casting a sound?
About there.
Okay. So you throw a sound across the room, and there's a slight sort of shifting in the boxes from where you cast it. You sort of see the creatures stop for a second as if they're listening, although they're not like tilting their head or cocking their head or anything like that. You think they're receiving information though, and then go back to what they're doing.
Okay, I'll relay this to the rest of the party, and yeah, that's me done.
Okay, and this one is now going to move over to here and continue with its tasks.
So what do you
Alright.
think?
Marisa, did you want to try sneaking fasty?
Someone else is watching the room.
Yeah, that I'm thinking that whatever shifted in the box is relaying the information back to these creatures. Because the box reacted.
Did you want me to try and grab the box?
Yeah, why not?
Not going to say no to that idea. Very least.
Can you tell me like what general area of the floor it's on the box is on? Because if I know kind of what I'm looking for, it would certainly help.
The sound was thrown over to here, and that box shifted from where he sort of threw the sound to.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I can attempt to try and sneak up and find this boxy type thing, because if what you say is true, that says there's something in that box which is distinctly odd and seems to have some sort of relations with these slime beasts.
That's the assumption.
In that case, I would like to attempt to sneak, and I'll apply a level of effort for that.
Okay, so that will be a speed roll. To get past them, they're not particularly interested in what you're doing, so it'll only be a difficulty 2. They're not focused on you currently.
That's right.
And then,
getting a macro
take it off,
for this now.
sneak.
So it's a difficulty 2 if I'm applying effort and my training and sneak.
If you're applying effort in your training in sneak, it's a difficulty 1.
Yeah.
Nice. 11.
Okay. So you move. Let me just find your token. Where are we, Rusif? When your token comes up. There we go. So where are you moving to?
So I see them over there. I guess I'd start moving towards the stairs, like halfway across the room.
Okay, as you move across the room, stepping your way over the sort of junk and debris, you notice that some of the surfaces have what looks like the remnants of that slime that you counted back on the trainer, some of which have the little points of light in it that you'd identified as traces. But because of the way you've picked your way across, and because the tower has a metal floor, you don't think you've actually triggered any of them as you're moving through, but you notice that surfaces are covered in this.
Okay then.
You're in the hornet's nest now.
Yeah, just realised that. I don't have any way to really get back to you guys. So, in terms of the stairs, is it like a circular staircase where the stairs are kind of going up that way? If you can see that ruler.
That's right, yep.
Yeah. I kind of want to try and distract them too, but I have no way of really doing that except to potentially lead them astray and make them chase me upstairs.
There are assorted bits of stuff around on the floor.
Are any of the boxes and bags of flour and other things sort of coated in the same sort of balls of light and symbols of light things?
Some of the items have some residue on them. Pretty much everything that you notice that appears to be something that you'd pick up and isn't just like crap that's fallen off or something has at least one glob of sort of dried slime on it somewhere. So you think they've sort of been catalogued in that way. You think that all these items they've basically picked up and stuck a tracer to and then put down within the room.
I would like to attempt to see if I can find something that's fairly large that doesn't have that hasn't been catalogued as yet, or if there has been one that's been catalogued, I'd kind of like to use my blade to try and wipe off the slime.
You can cast around on the floor and you find a couple of stones that have no tracer on them.
I was thinking something a little bit bigger.
Okay. You notice that one of the things on the side, sitting around the room, is an empty bucket. There's two full buckets, and then there's a bucket with nothing in it next to it. That it does have a single tracer on it. It appears to be some synthetic or possibly even an organic material this bucket's made of, but you can't quite tell. By the way, Fetus, that signal that you detected as being something of power is over here.
Ah, thank you.
And that other little signal you detected is about here.
Well, I guess if I did ask Fetus kind of like whereabouts he sort of reckoned he could sense these sources of power, is there anything sort of around here-ish that looks sort of wrong thing, looks out of place or like unusual compared to everything else?
There's a couple of boxes, but there's one thing that looks, if not out of place, but it is unlike some of the other things in the room. It's a small polygon-shaped object that's glowing with a very sort of faint, uniform purple light. Like it looks like it's a multi-sided, irregular sort of polyhedron, about the size of of your palm. And it's got a very faint purple light coming from it.
Would I be able to attempt knowledge of the Numenera on that thing?
Yep.
Nine.
Okay. So you think that this item, as far as you can tell, it doesn't have any purpose. Like it doesn't, it's not a cipher that's it's an explosive or anything like that. But you can sense, sort of looking at it, that the center of gravity of it, there's something strange about it, and it's got some sort of energy signature to it. But you won't know more without sort of picking up and examining it.
And does it have any slime on it?
It does have a viral tracer on it.
Can I attempt to wipe off the slime with my dagger and try and pick it up?
Yep, sure. To wipe the slime off without to sort of scrape the slime off and deposit on something else without triggering the the viral hosts in the room, that'll be a dexterity, so a speed check. To do it effectively, it will probably be a difficulty 3.
I'll put a level of effort in that.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while Russo's sneaking around the room?
I'm just keeping an eye out behind us at the moment, seeing if anything's coming up to follow us.
Does the ramp on the other side of the room also have a hatch?
It sort of circles up a couple of levels, so it sort of does a rotate around the room, and then at the top
okay.
there is another hatch. It sort of goes, each level so far has gone sort of 1.5 turns around the room. And yeah, it does have another sliding hatch like the one you've already been through. Rusuf, as you scrape the tracer off the surface of the object, you take the object, but the tracer on the edge of your knife, as you tried to slide it off, it's actually crushed it. The little glowing light within it. The light's gone out, and the creatures have now sort of picked up that something's happened and have turned in that direction. They haven't moved yet.
Oh god.
The object that you've picked up, now that you've got it in your hand, you can feel that there is something funny about the weight of it, and you can feel sort of almost a mechanical energy to it, like it's not vibrating, but like it's shifting as it's in your hand.
Oh, what to do with this? Can I attempt to toss that object towards the ramp that I walked up from?
You can. To toss it accurately and without triggering their attention, that will be another speed roll. Difficulty 3 again.
No effort, because this will be interesting.
Hilarious.
Oh my
me
god,
anyway.
no, too. Oh
All
dear.
hell breaks loose.
Okay. So the object clatters across the room. As it does, you sort of see it, as it throws in the air, you see it sort of orient itself and land on one of its faces. When it lands on that face, it starts spinning rapidly on its face, and like a top almost, but not on a point. And it sort of smudges a couple of the viral traces on the objects on that side of the room. The creatures are now on full alert. This one moves over to where it landed, near where it landed, and it's sort of looking around for it. And you see it start to gather some of the traces from inside its body and underneath into its hand, ready to spread out. This one just goes into like a guard posture. This one is now sort of beginning to blow or, release the motes into the air, and you can see the globules of slime start to sort of spread throughout the air. Unlike the one on the train, these globules sort of seem to have not their own, I won't say intelligence, but they seem to be working in a formation as they move out across the room. There are viral traces hanging within the air.
Charming.
A couple of them are starting to come down the ramp. What would you like to do?
Is there any activity out as I look outside at the moment? Like as that happened?
You glance out the window and you can't see any activity outside.
Okay.
You're up sort of high, a little bit higher now, and the windows here are not as clear as some of the earlier ones, so it's sort of quite distorted, the view you get of the outside, but you can't see anything.
Okay.
We still have that phase shift grenade, right?
We kind of need that.
I say we just explode that at our feet. Phase shift ourselves. We'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
Ah,
Wait, no, I've got to. You test it first.
I'll eat
Scrapper,
it.
given you examined the device earlier, you may wish to advise the rest of the party against taking that action.
Yeah, I'm already just looking back at him and just saying that is a really, really, really terrible idea. You try that and I'll shoot you first.
It was not a fun portal. It was not a portal device. It's a. It will shift the matter to another dimension quite violently.
Let's not think with portals at the present time. So, just finger off the trigger, please. I'm just watching Fettis closely as he's like, as he's probably holding his hand, getting closer to the trigger or something like that.
Okay, the sort of spore slime detectors from the creature are now diffusing across the room, and they're starting to come towards you, Rusif. And you could see some of them starting to sort of cloud towards you, almost like they're getting sort of the edge of your presence, maybe through sweat coming out of your skin or some sort of scent.
Alright. I do believe that I shall try and abscond and make my way up the ramp if I can.
Okay, to get up there sort of quickly without disturbing anything, that will be another stealth roll.
No effort, because I just want to see how this goes.
19,
Nice.
nice.
19, you make your way sort of halfway up around the room to the ramp. So you're now actually about here, but you're up on the ramp.
Oh, I have an idea, but that would just create this into even more of a nightmarish situation, so I'm not going to do it.
Don't you?
There are now some spores coming down the ramp towards the rest of you.
Is now the time for the dancing marmalade potato?
Yes, it's always time for the dancing marmalade potato.
Would you like to dancing marmalade potato your way into the room?
Yes.
If you act quick enough, you can get the drop on them.
Oh god.
Someone
this is
say
happening.
charge!
I just look back at him, just saying, "What happened?"
Okay,
watching
Blargs
this happen.
charges into the room.
And I just roll my eyes, just saying, "Ugh, yep, so
He
much
runs
for
on
that."
the ramp with abandon, disturbing some of the chasers on his way. But because you acted sort of decisively, you have a surprise round. So you can take a crack at them if you'd like. The rest of you, and Scrapper, are down the ramp, and we'll have to wait until we do an initiative roll. What would you like to do, Blargs?
Alright, I'm going to throw caution to the wind, pull out my two-handed axe, and take a swing at the one close to me.
Okay.
Oh, Balagsy.
Okay, so it's a difficulty 3.
Alright, since I don't trust in my rolls at all, I'm going to put a point of effort into that.
0.
And it actually was
Oh.
worth getting.
I'm a
Luckily you
genius.
did. Okay. The swing from the axe, it swings out into the creature, into its sort of gelatinous surface. As soon as the blade hits, you see several of the points of light within the creature's gelatinous structure all cluster around where the wound is. And the creature recoils in alarm, or what appears to be alarm. It tries to twist its way away from you. Unfortunately, twisting its way away from you probably did it more harm than good. So how many points of damage is that?
7.
7, okay. It's a little bit armoured just because of its mass, so it takes 6 points of damage. Okay, the other creature now goes into full alert. and spits its own load of viral traces that start diffusing rapidly throughout the room. And they both sort of turn to you and focus on you. And I'll get a speed roll for initiative from all of you.
Okay, roll.
Blugs, do you know what you get as the tier 2? Because it might be useful in this situation.
I don't have the foggiest.
Alright, apparently as you are someone who masters weapons, are you not?
That is correct.
Okay, because you master weapons in your tier 2, you are trained in speed defense rolls when wielding your chosen weapon.
Ah.
But you'll have
I
to
haven't
level up.
actually leveled up to tier 2 yet, so
Once you do, though, yeah, you can get that. Who hasn't rolled? Rusif.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I was a part of this fight, considering I was halfway to the next floor.
Where you are on the ramp, you can still snipe and pick down on them. You could even jump down and tackle the fight if you wanted to.
I'm putting effort into this, so this will be, with my training, this is a +6.
Whoa.
Wow.
24 total.
Okay.
Okay, you act first.
Crikey mo.
In fact, you all
and
did
second and
pretty well,
third.
so you'll all act before the creatures.
Nice.
Considering my position, I believe I have a range advantage, but I have a height advantage. So what I'm going to do is bad idea. I'm going to try and jump down and pretty much pivot my blade so that I stab him in the top of the head. Sort of. I don't know what thing I'm trying to think of, but kind of like Zelda v Ganon in Wind Waker. Sorry, Link v Ganon Wind Waker style.
Okay, you're going to come down with an attack from the top. Because you're jumping down from up above it, that will put the roll 1 in your advantage. So you only need to hit a difficulty 2 to land that blade with sort of a correct strike.
And it's only a difficulty 1 because actually, I don't actually have to roll for this now.
Okay,
Because
What?
because if it reduces the difficulty by 1 by the jumping, I also reduce the difficulty by 1 for a light weapon, and I also reduce the difficulty by 1 because it's a surprise attack.
that's right. So you can connect.
Is that an automatic 20?
That's an automatic connect.
OP.
There is no way it can dodge.
Huh.
Okay, so you come down from above, the creature sort of holding your dagger in a downward thrust, sort of through the back of where its skull would be, if it had a skull. The dagger slices a clean line, the whole dagger's depth, through its back, and you see it sort of starting to peel apart at the edges. How many points of damage does that do?
Okay, because I can apply effort to the damage, can I not?
Yes.
In that case, I'll do 1 level of might effort, and so with also my fighting move, that it will be, what's that? 3 plus 1. That'll be 8 damage.
Okay.
What?
So that will actually, it's got a point of armor, but that will still do 7 damage to it. So it's well and truly sort of bisected it across the back and open it up into like 2 clean gelatinous layers, and you see the light particles stream to the surface to try and detect where this damage has come from. It also lets out a spray of liquid from in there, so I will get a might roll to dodge that, or a speed roll or a might roll, whichever one you wish. Okay, it sprays in your face, the slime from inside, and covers you. You might not want to inhale. So on your next turn, you probably want to take an action to wipe it from your face, unless you want to breathe it in.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, next turn is Blargs again.
Since it was so successful last time, I'm going to swing at the guy close to me again, but not put any effort into it because, I trust in the heart of the dice.
Okay. Have a swing.
14.
Okay, your blade connects again for 7 points again, is it?
Yes.
Okay, you manage to slice it sort of the opposite way than you already had, and you manage to bisect it. And it slides in 2 layers into a sort of a slime explosion on the spot, and its structure collapses into a puddle on the floor. And you see it start to sort of rapidly dry out. So it's dead. Ranger.
This battle's going to be over before we even start.
Yeah. I guess I will draw and fire my crossbow from where I am.
You'll have to move up the ramp a little bit.
Oh, I will have to move? Okay, well, I'll push my way up the ramp. I'll take a shot. This battle's over.
Okay. Speed roll to aim.
Oh no, you got a 1.
Well,
Okay. Just as you move your crossbow up to take a shot, and as you sort of move up the ramp, the traces that the one that Blargs killed had released start to spread across the, had been spreading across the room, and you take a deep inhalation of breath, and you swallow some of them.
Oh no.
I will get a might defense roll.
Oh god. 15.
Okay, you quickly sort of start coughing and vomiting on the spot. You can't take your shot. And you manage to expel some of the contents of your guts as well as the viral traces that you... So you basically vomit them back up before they can get into you and infect you. But you you don't get your shot, unfortunately. Okay, Scrapper.
Alright, well, I'm going to move up to about here.
Mm-hmm.
So past Blargs. And
Yep.
as I was going past, like a ranger, and just say, oh, "That's what you had for breakfast this morning," and then I'll I'll take a shot at this guy's leg, like the leg furthest away from Rusev.
Okay. So that'll be a speed roll to aim.
Mhm.
Difficulty 3.
11.
Okay, that's a hit. How much damage does that do?
Crossbow, so 4 damage.
4. Okay, 1 point of armor. So you manage to shoot its leg and sort of sever it, and you think it's going to topple over, but you sort of see it rearrange some of its biomass within it, and they sort of, you'd sort of severed the leg, and that had fallen away into a puddle. But it goes on to where the stump would be, and then sort of grows a new stump. So it's not a fully formed, almost foot like it had, but it is managing to balance on the stump, so you haven't impeded its mobility. But with the big slice in its back, it's not looking particularly healthy. And Fetus, your turn.
okay. Can't really do much. I can't move my thing either.
Gotcha.
No, why is that?
Let me just fiddle it.
Finish him off with all your strength before he has a chance to dodge.
Okay, you should be able to... Now.
There we go, thank you. So, up close and personal, and I'm going to try and make history repeat itself, although a little more successfully, I hope. And I'll ram my fist into its head.
No, not again.
Okay. So it's basically an unarmed attack?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I've still got my razor ring, but I'm not sure it's going to do much.
Well, you can activate it.
Yeah, okay, let's get my fist inside his head, then activate the ring.
Okay.
Oh
So,
man.
so roll for it. That'll be a might roll. Difficulty 3. Okay.
9.
So you ram your hand inside its skull and let off your razor ring. The ring, sort of cuts a line around where the creature's skull would be, the top of its skull, although it's more of like a mound.
Yep.
And the matter above it sort of dissolves into a puddle and runs sort of down your arm. But all the matter below there also collapses into a puddle, and the creature dies. But your hand is now covered in goop.
Excellent. So I just trepanned this thing from the inside out.
You pretty much did. And so
I'm
you're
down
now
with that.
all out of combat because you were very effective.
Yeah,
They didn't even really have chance to react.
perfect attack there, gents. I'll actually go up and help Rusev now that I see him actually having the slime all over his face. I'm going to help him clean it up.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so you managed to remove the slime from his face before he inhales it or swallows it. Ranger is still sort of coughing up over in the corner, but that's probably more a result of just vomiting than from the virus or anything like that.
Could have been something he ate, I got no idea.
Okay, so the room's now empty. I'll just get them out of
I'm
your rope.
allergic to ramps.
So, Fetus, that signal you could sense before was there. Rusif, the item that you threw is still spinning on the floor, and it's there. What would you like to do?
Should we stop that thing spinning?
So you move across to the object that's spinning, the polygon, and pick it up. As soon as you pick it up, you can. It sort of stops any motion. Like it's got no inertia. You can't feel like a motor or anything. You just pick it up and it stops. Would you like to examine it?
Yes, I would actually. Seems like a
Okay.
cool thing. I might as well have a look at it.
Now that you've seen what it does, and based on, and Bruce, if you can provide input on this based on what you detected out before, you think that it's just like an oddity, but what it does is when you place it on one of its specific faces of the polygon, it does that rapid spinning. Any other face, and it won't do that. So it's just like a curiosity that you can place on one thing to set it spinning rapidly. Any other surface, it won't. It may have been part of an engine or a child's toy, or who knows what it was originally part of. Fetist, would you like to scramble for what you could detect before?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you dig through the you dig through the waste that you were over in that corner of the room. You dig through bits of metal and glass stored in boxes and what appears to be samples. It looks like some of them have been catalogued as samples. They all have that small slime mark that you previously detected.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull out a small cipher bag, which you know is a type of bag that you can use to store ciphers in safely. So you think, no matter what you know about these creatures, is that they, are storing their ciphers better than you as a party are.
Can I look in this cipher bag?
Yes. So it's a small synth bag. You know from handling cipher bags before that they can contain one cipher per they contain a number of ciphers, and so this one's equipped to safely store 4 different ciphers. The only catch is that these things are prone to failure. So if you every now and then, every time you put an item in there, you're going to have to roll for depletion.
Mm-hmm.
If it depletes, your best bet is to get the ciphers out of the bag very quickly, because they'll no longer be protected. You think you can store sort of 4 small ciphers safely in this bag, and there's one in there which you identify as a very powerful cipher.
Excellent.
So you pull it out, and it's a small. It looks like it's almost like a bracelet, but it's not made of anything that you can really tell. It's almost like it's made of. It's got a mass, and you could lift it up, but you can't tell what substance. You can't even rub your finger on it to sort of feel if it's metallic or plastic. But what you can tell, I'll get you to do a knowledge Numenera check.
I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Hey, other than that substance thing, you can't really tell what it does.
Okay.
Would anyone else in the party like to examine it?
I will.
Okay, a knowledge Numenera check from you.
Actually, can I do that?
Do you have knowledge Numenera?
I don't think. No, I don't. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay, you think it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Nice.
Rusif, would you like to examine it?
Does it spin on one side?
Pardon?
Does it spin on one side? Like the last one?
You sort of pick it up and try and place it a couple of ways, and you can't really tell. Okay, Rusif, you examine it. You can't truly discern its whole purpose, but you think it might have an armor property. So you think that if activated, and you can tell how to activate it, you don't know exactly what it will do, but you think it creates some kind of force shield or force barrier or something, but you can't be 100% sure. If you don't know what it does, you can always get it identified by an Aeon priest.
Excellent. I basically tell them it's just like, it's some sort of force barrier type thing. Might protect you, might not, might explode in your face. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, Blargs, you have sort of been kicking through the debris, and you find, over in the other part of the room, you're over here somewhere, and you find a small golden box. Would you like to open it up?
Can I punch it first just to see what happens?
Does it have the word Pandora on the front?
Pick the goat tower. Pick the goat tower.
So
No, I
you
will
pick
open
up
the
the
box.
You pick up the box and examine it carefully, before holding it in your hand and bringing your fist down on it like a hammer. The top of the box crumples. You think that now that you've done that, it's only made of, even though it looks golden, it's only made of something sort of akin to cardboard. And you could hear something rattle when you punched it.
Great, you broke it.
Excellent.
Would you like to open the box?
Yeah, so I'd like to open what remains of the box.
Okay. You sort of peel off the crushed lid, sort of ripping it off and throwing it behind you. And inside you notice a bunch of shins. So doing a quick count, maybe having to take off one of your shoes so that you can actually count it properly. The box contains 72 shins.
Whoa.
How many toes do you have?
I come from a small village. Shut up. It's very remote.
Ranger, you looking around in the debris in here, find a glow globe, which you know is a light source that you can use in dark places and use everything. Just an extra spare one. Other than that, there's little of value in the room. There's a couple of old bottles of what looks like liquor, which you can take or leave as you choose. Other than that,
I found liquor.
Other than that, there's nothing particularly interesting in here. So there we go. A glow globe illuminates everything in a sort of short distance with a soft light, but you can also attach it to something, sort of clamp it onto something, or you can set it floating.
Cool.
Okay, so would you like to continue up the ramp?
Yeah,
I
there's
would.
nothing else.
Okay. So you head up the ramp
What?
and get to the next level. I'll just remove your tokens from here because we don't need them anymore. You head up the ramp to the next level of the structure where there is another hatch. Would you like to try and slide the hatch? Who is on point?
You go, Blogs. You seem to have practice at this.
All right, I will open the hatch.
Who knows? I might get
Wait,
more
what is this,
masquerading
loft?
potatoes.
Okay. You slide open the hatch gently once again and poke your head up. Unlike the cluttered room that you've just come from, this room is empty of the sort of storage and piles of stuff. What you see when you first look into the room is a couple of small gnawed bones and some remains of what look like some mechanical devices in here. As you sort of move your head around and look though, across the room there is a giant beast. Now the beast is sort of the size of a large, larger than a dog, and looks somewhere between a dog and a bear, but with a spiked tail and large spiked claws. You can sort of see it sniffling around in there. 3 purple tongues extend out from its mouth as it sort of pants and licks the air and sniffs around the room. You notice that the creature has patches of its skin that have been worn away, and beneath it there is the now familiar green slime structure. So you think this is some sort of beast that had been infected, like those had been human creatures that you fought back on the train. But the creature's sort of, not paying attention to you yet because you haven't moved your way into the room.
Oh dear.
So,
I
yeah,
charge.
Can I do a creature identification roll?
Yeah, but you
Okay.
don't see it though.
Ranger moves up next to Blargs and does a creature identification. You don't need to really roll for this. This is something
Okay.
you just know. It's it's something you would have heard about in your Ranger training. You think this is a creature, or had been a creature, known as an herbivore hound. Now, the herbivore is about the size of a small horse with those long tongues, and you often find them in ruins of prior worlds, especially one where there's still some dormant energy signatures. You know that they subsist on sort of small prey, grass and leaves, but you know what they really desire and what they really feed on is energy. And so now that you've swung your head up in the room, you think that those bits of mechanical wreckage, it's probably devices that it's eaten or absorbed the energy from.
Okay.
Into its mouth. Blargs, would you still like to charge?
Yes.
Conserve. Actually, yeah, expend all your energy. That's a good idea.
Okay, Blargs charges towards the creature. Unfortunately, this one sees him coming and does not get, so he doesn't get the real advantage of surprise. It's far off across the room. I will get you to roll initiative.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Ranger.
Oh no, Ranger.
It's like, what?
Ranger's initiative is so
Like-
bad, he throws up again.
I literally just told you that these things are unholy devourers, and you charge right past me.
So,
Fuck
Ranger,
this
you
guy.
get... Ranger, I'm going to do my intrusion there for free because you rolled a 1.
Mhm.
So, in shock, as it's in the room, the creature has sort of bounded towards you. And, bypassing Blargs, who's sort of charging towards it. Blargs is now charging towards an empty space. And it's decided to come for you. It can detect some tasty devices on your person. I will get you to make a speed roll to dodge this creature because it's now going to come for you and try and lift one of your ciphers
Okay.
from your pack.
It can just have them. Like,
Well, you're not going to have much choice in the matter, so I'll get that speed roll.
14.
Okay, you managed to escape one of its long tongues. That was, one of its 3 tongues was sort of snaking towards your belt and trying to pull one of your ciphers out of the pack. But you do manage to dodge away from it. Rusif, it is your turn. You are behind the rest of them on the stairs.
Am I? So the creature has acted before me, basically.
The creature sort of detected something very tasty in Ranger, maybe with the energy signature of the ciphers he carries, or he was just giving off the right vibe. But yes, it has acted before you.
Dang. Okay. In that case, I would like to throw something at it. Can I attempt to aim and throw something into its mouth, or into one of its mouths?
It's got one mouth with 3 tongues, but yes, you can. That will be a slightly more difficult task, so it's a level 5 to do that.
I'll give it a go.
hmm
Maybe not.
No,
Uh,
5.
The thing is, I was actually throwing one of my ciphers at it to try and get it in its mouth.
The cipher sort of clatters off of the creature's mouth and then bounces back towards you. And you sort of catch it, but now it's realised there's something tasty in your hand.
Oh, that's good. That's actually what I want. I wanted it to eat it, so that's good.
Okay, and it's now going to come down and try and suck the energy out of it. So that will be, first it's going to lash out with its tongue twice. So 2 speed rolls to dodge 2 of its tongues as they lash towards you.
Well, do I
20.
need to roll the second one?
No, you managed to sort of roll up the ramp and past everyone and get well without the range of it. But you still are holding the cipher out in front of you, so it's sort of distracted by it as it sort of it's facing you and trying to engage you. Scrapper,
Here,
it's
you
now.
hell spawn doggy.
So Bruce has moved into the room a little bit more while he did his dodge action, and is sort of leading it around by the cipher. So you're now sort of still down the ramp a bit, but behind it, as he sort of led it around the room.
Mm. Okay, so can I shoot it from where I am now?
You can move up the ramp a little bit and take a shot, yes.
Yeah, I might do that because I can't really do much else without getting in a bit too close with settled beastie, so I'm going to have a shot.
Okay, it's sort of bounding around the room, and it's quite agile despite its size, so it's a difficulty 4 to hit.
It's a mess. I only got a 6.
Okay, the bolt clatters around the room, luckily not managing to hit anyone, especially not NPCs.
Yes,
time.
no unsuspecting maidens in the back of the leg.
No, there's no warrior women here, so you're fine.
And my eye's intact.
He says that now.
He says
I think
that now.
if this creature runs out of ciphers, I suspect your enhancements are probably
shit.
the tastiest thing left in the room. Fetus,
Starting
your
with your
turn.
Okay. Can I... I'm really useless with my weapons, so I just need to do other stuff.
Remember, you do have
Where
ciphers.
am I? Not really.
You are down the ramp a little bit. You're sort of behind. You're sort of behind the others. You all got pushed down the ramp a bit when the creature went for Ranger. So Scrapper's
Okay.
moved past Ranger now. You're still behind him.
And the beast is facing us?
No, the beast is currently across the room engaging Rusev. So Rusev's sort of leading it around with his cipher.
Okay,
Sort of
wonderful.
moving his cipher around and trying to attract its attention.
Can I... How big is this thing?
Small horse.
Small horse. Oh god. Like Shetland pony or...
No, if it stood up, it would probably be about the size of a bear. Like a small.
So I don't really want to try and bear hug a small horse bear. Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear,
With
pig,
that
dog.
attitude, you can try.
Horse, bear, dog with spikes. No, you don't.
With spikes. No, okay.
Infected as well.
Do we still have that shock wand?
Yes, you do.
You still have it.
I think it's yours, yeah.
Oh, okay. I should probably add that to my list of equipment. Or
Yes.
ciphers. It's a cipher, yeah?
It's an artifact. So you can
It's
keep
an
using it.
artifact.
You just need to roll depletion each time.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I might try and strike the head of this thing with the shock wand.
Okay, so you'll need to move up and make a might roll to do it. It'll be a difficulty 4.
Difficulty 4, I'll put a point of effort into it.
Yep.
So that's... That'll do it.
That'll do it. Okay, so you strike out with the wand and crack it on the sort of side of its cheek, and you sort of see, as with these things, when they hit the side of its cheek, sort of crystallizes up, as well as part of the edge of one of its tongues. It's all sort of crystallized up, and the creature sort of, had been, sort of lashing its tongues out to try and catch the cipher from Rusev, but it sort of notices that and sort of starts trying to lick the side of its cheek and work out what's going on. Okay, I'll get you to roll the depletion on that, which 1d20. And the wand still retains charge.
Excellent.
Nice.
Okay, Blargs, you'd started by charging across the room, but with your sort of head down and determination to move across the room towards where the creature was, you've now sort of run out into space. So the ramp's here, you're around here somewhere, and Rusev is around here. So you're across the room, and the creature's sort of in the middle of the three of you.
Well, my mama always said, if something ain't broke, don't fix it.
What are you
I'm going
getting
to
at?
charge the crew.
Your mother was a wise lady. And
From a very
of,
small town.
and of unimpeachable honour.
Thank you.
So you'd like to charge it again?
Yes, I would.
Okay. That'll be a might roll.
$11.
Okay. Unfortunately, as you move across the room and take a swing with your axe, the creature is again too agile for you, and your blow sails wide. Ranger, having recovered from the fright that the creature gave you by being suddenly in your face and going for your ciphers, it is now your turn.
Draw sword and attack.
Okay, so you charge up the ramp and run across to the creature, sort of coming at it a different direction. Fetus had gone for its mouth, Ranger's in, and you come up behind it. But similar to Blarg's, the way the creature is jumping around, trying to get the cipher off of Rusif, you don't manage to put any damage onto it. Okay, Rusif, your turn. You have the
Okay,
creature's steal most of its attention with the cipher, even though it's now worrying at its cheek from where Fetus crystallized it.
So, would I be able to assume that when it tries to sort of like consume the energy of a cipher, that doesn't necessarily mean that it wants to like physically digest it? Is that right?
Given the remains of mechanical devices around the room, that's a safe assumption. It doesn't eat metal; it eats energy.
Okay, in that case, I will again attempt to throw this device into its mouth.
Okay. So, which cipher is it?
I did just roll it. It is, in fact, the musical exploding device.
Okay, and you know the tone that
I
make
know.
it go off.
And rolls a 10.
Okay,
Possibly not enough.
unfortunately, as you try and sort of throw it and let it into its mouth, it doesn't go in. The creature catches it with one of its tongues, and you see a brief spark of energy as it drains the device, and then spits it back at you, leaving just like a hunk of metal to fall onto the ground.
Dang.
It sort of starts licking around its lips, and you can sort of tell that it's maybe feeling a bit more sort of sated than it was. It's not like ravenous like it was a second ago. It's had a tasty morsel, and you see it sort of consider from the way you can sort of read animals, and having been around any dog or anything, you can see it sort of think a bit, going, is it still worth me having this fight? But then you sort of see it jerk and refocus its attention in a slightly different manner. You think that the virus possessing it might have put it back on course to attacking you as intruders.
No, thank you.
Scrapper, it is your turn.
So I'm guessing I'm guessing it's moved in further into the room, so I can't shoot it again from where I am. Do I have to move up closer?
You'll have
Up
to
the
move up the
ramp?
ramp a bit more, yes.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move up the ramp, and while I'm doing that, reload the crossbow, and that's pretty much my turn right there.
Okay. So you move up and into the room to get a better shot. The creature is now going to try and bite Fetus, who numbed its tongue because it sort of shook its hunger off, but it's now focusing on the person who damaged its cheek. So Fetus is going to lash out and try and bite you. So I'll get a speed roll to dodge. Difficulty 4.
Oh,
5.
So the creature sort of leans back and then pounces towards you and bites you in the thigh and starts sort of worrying at it a bit. and it's quite a nasty bite that this thing has. That will be 7 points of might damage.
Jeez.
Wow. That's
Do you have any might pool yet left?
Well, I've got 1 armor, which takes it down to 6 damage, which puts me at -1 might.
Okay. Fetus, you are incapacitated. This is the first time anyone's moved down the damage track this way.
Correct.
I
Oh,
was
wait.
1 point off that happening to me.
Wait, Fetus, you don't have any might edge, do you?
I do, yes.
Oh, you do. You got that. Good. Because I'm just like, I remember the last time you used might edge, and it's just like, there goes 3 points for free.
Yep.
Okay. So you are now impaired.
Mm-hmm.
So you're wounded, but you're still up and about and can you can sort of dodge using speed, but all your strength is sapped out of you. It costs an extra point per level of effort whenever you try to apply a level of effort.
Jesus. Yep.
So applying 1 level costs 4 points instead of 3. Also means that you can't roll like critical, like major or minor effects on your rolls, and you don't get as much extra damage if you roll one of those really good rolls during combat.
Okay.
So yeah, you're on your way out.
Surely, I think we'd all agree that quite a lot of my energy has been sapped by this creature just now.
That's right.
And surely that would save the creature somewhat.
You are 1 step closer to death.
Damn it.
So if you lose all of your points from one of your other pools, you will go down to being debilitated. You will not be able to move, except maybe crawl a bit. You can't attack. You won't be able to do anything. If you lose all the points from your 3rd pool, you will be dead.
Okay.
Okay, it's now your turn. Would you like to do your one of your recovery rolls?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
I would not.
So you're limping with a large bite wound in your leg.
Well, this thing's head is still practically at my crotch, right?
It's pretty close to you. It sort of bit you and worried, and then backed off a bit to see what you'd do.
Oh. Can I just go for the neck with this shock wand?
You can lash out with the shock wand as a speed action, so it's fast but has no strength behind it.
Yep. That'll do me. I just need contact.
Okay, lash out with the shock wand again. Difficulty 4.
Lightning bolt.
Oh. I have to put a point of effort into this. I can't not.
Remember, it costs you more. It costs you an extra point.
It costs me 4, yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Man, you're being dangerous today.
Yes, I am. Oh,
Okay,
shit.
2. Oh no.
Oh, no.
You're a 2.
Okay, you lash out with the shock wand and miss. I'll get you to roll your depletion on that. The shock wand still retains its charge.
Oh.
After that disaster, Blargs, it is your turn. You are behind the creature. You have just seen it wound Fetus gravely.
Alright. I'd like to give a great battle cry bellow. Yar. And then
Sorry,
swing
can
my
we get
axe
that
at it
again?
just to break the norm. And I'll put a point of effort in.
See the mighty Blargs in his natural hen habitat.
Would you like to make a thrust action? Or
Sure, why not?
Or a bash action?
I will
Are
do
you
a
thrusting with
thrust.
the sword or?
He's got an axe, so you can sort of thrust with the edge of your axe up to it.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're thrusting with the weapon.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Not
difficulty 4.
not the hammer in my pants, if you get what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Not flexing for that. It doesn't need to do that.
And yeah, point of effort in this.
Okay.
18. Nice.
What a
Oh, come
waste of
on.
health.
You get
Okay,
2
so
damage on that.
you get 2 extra damage from the from rolling the 18. You get an extra point from the thrust, and then you get your weapon damage. The creature has no armor, so how many points is that? Is that 10 points?
What were the bonuses again? Yes, it's 10 because it's
2 from an
6,
18.
6 for the two-handed, plus 1 for mastering for whatever an axe is, plus 2 plus 1.
Okay, 10 points. So you managed to sort of stick your axe in its side with a thrusting motion and give it a twist and open up its side. As you open it up, it starts sort of bleeding, and you can see the remnants of internal organs within there. But you also see some of the blood that comes out, which is tainted green. So the virus is running through its veins, and it's not a real healthy creature. But you still manage to do a lot of damage, and that's all you care about. So,
Right.
so you've given it a decent hit. It sort of makes a howl noise, and its tongue sort of, you see its tongue sort of straighten out, and then it starts sort of thrashing about looking for you, and it sort of turns around trying to find you. Ranger, your turn. You are also quite close to the creature, and have just managed to duck away from its tail, twisted around looking for blargs.
Take a swing.
Okay. Any effort?
No.
Okay. You swing, but while it's thrashing around, your sword fails to find its mark. You do bring it down on one of its claws, but they're quite hard, so your sword sort of clips its toenail, and that's about it. It still has many other functioning claws that it can use. Rusif, it is your turn. The creature is... You no longer have the creature's attention because it is now hunting for blargs.
Would it be advisable if I was to attempt to try and climb onto the creature's back?
I'll let you try it. It'll be a speed maneuver to get up on top of it.
The horse bear pig.
Yes, would this technically be a climb check, or is this just me trying to be, like, acrobatic-y kind of thing?
No, I think it's more like a handle animal sort of thing.
Okay.
Is it meant to be my shot or not?
Did I miss you?
Yeah. I don't think I had a turn this round. So I'm after Ranger, I think, if I remember correctly.
No, you reloaded your crossbow.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Yep, you're after the creature.
Okay.
In that case, I will try and get onto the creature's back.
Okay, that'll be a speed roll. It's not expecting it. It's not something it's ever had to deal with before, so that'll only be a difficulty 3.
That
So
almost
close
landed
to
on the 20.
14. Okay. You sliding around under its tail, you sort of run up its hind quarters and jump on the back of it. The creature lets out a grunt of surprise and starts trying to shake you off, but you hold your balance there,
All good.
at least for this round. And if you're up there, you can probably strike with a small weapon, like a dagger.
Yep. Do I get a chance to do that this round or next round?
I'll let you do it this round. I'll say you're sort of quick enough get up there because you beat the check by a bit. So
Would this potentially be, considering the creature was not really expecting this, would this count as a surprise attack or not really?
it knows you're there, and it is sort of trying to move and buck you off. So probably not.
Fair enough. Light weapon, so reduces the difficulty by 1.
Okay, so you're trying to hit. Okay.
15,
And
bam.
your blade finds its mark from the creature's back. How many points of damage does that do?
3, because that is also a thrust fighting move.
Okay. You sink your blade into one of its sort of fleshy shoulders and bring it back out. As you bring it back out, you notice your blade is also covered in the blood and with some of the green slime that falls away from it and drips quickly, leaving just the creature's sort of blackish red blood on your blade. Okay, the creature has now found Blargs and it's going to lash out with its tongues and making 2 attacks with them. So Blargs, that'll be 2 speed rolls to dodge, or you can use your might defense. And
No, I'll just do speed rolls. This will be wonderful.
Rebuff it
Okay.
with your muscles.
Flex it back.
Okay, one of the tongues connects with its where it's going to, and one of the barbs drags its way across your hand. Second roll.
Oh, no.
Brilliant.
And the other one wraps around the same arm and squeezes tight for a second before pulling back, getting a taste of your blood. So all up, you're going to take 6 points of might damage. And I will get a 3rd speed roll because while it was doing that, its other tongue was going for one of your ciphers.
1.
Brilliant.
Oh, no.
Oh, Blargs.
Its
That's
third
our
tongue
Blargs.
whips into the pouches at your belt and pulls out 2 of your ciphers. It
As far
hasn't
as I can tell, I
consumed
only have
yet.
1 cipher on me, so I'll be pulling a cipher out of hammer space to give to it.
It will pull one of the ones that I'm sure someone handed you when you weren't thinking about it.
Oh no.
Fair enough.
Okay, and it hasn't sort of it's wrapped its tongue around them, but it hasn't consumed the energy from them yet. So if you're quick, and if your strike is true, you may be able to get one or both of them back before it eats them.
Knowing you, Blargs, we probably gave you a small adhesive patch that restores 3 might points.
Actually, can I have that patch and I'll trade it for a gemstone that makes someone dream of their favorite food?
That's an oddity. That's an oddity, not a cipher.
Damn it!
So that's just one of your devices. It's not what this creature's interested in. This thing
I
wants
have no
energy.
ciphers.
I have adhesion clamps.
What did they do? Let me remind myself what they did.
I still
Yeah,
got
it's
my
really
microphone
after-
poison.
Use
Energy.
the clamps, boys.
The clamps!
Okay, Scraffer, it is your turn while we're figuring out what ciphers it's taken from Blargs.
Okay, well, since I've now got a clear shot, I'm actually just going to crouch down to line up my shot, and I'm going to go for one of the joints on its legs to try and slow it down.
Okay, you're going to try and hobble it. For a cold shot like that, that'll bump up the difficulty 1 level. So, difficulty 5.
Oh. Hell with it. Let's do it.
Okay, are you going to put effort into that?
Oh,
No,
nice.
don't need to. Got a 20.
Okay. So not only does your shot find its, it finds its mark, and the creature sort of howls and collapses onto its leg. You sort of find one of its front legs, and it sort of collapses under it. As it collapses down, one of the ciphers that it took from Blargs moves out of its tongue's grasp and rolls across the floor, still charged. Okay,
Guys,
you
let's
will.
assume that that's the one that we don't know what it is yet.
Okay, because it was a cold shot, it will knock him down from that. So, what else would you like your major success to do? You can
Heal me
impair
for
it,
14
or you can
points of might.
do a bunch of damage. You can impair it so it, it makes its life harder, or you can, just do extra damage.
Well, my initial reason for doing that was to impair it, and just because those tongue attacks were brutal, I was trying to just slow it down and make it harder for it to actually fight back.
Yep, because it was a called shot and you succeeded on that, it's already done that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do something else as well. More damage.
Yeah, more damage. Let's see if I can see if the bolt can rip its leg off.
Okay, how much damage does your bolt normally do?
Normally does 4.
Okay, so that now did 8 damage.
Kablamo.
Okay, so the bolt strikes true into the top of the creature's front leg, and you see the bolt appear through the other side and blood starts running. It tries to put its weight down on that foot, and then it sort of collapses under it to the side, and the creature rolls onto its side. On top of it, Rusev sort of holds onto it and rides it a bit like a rodeo bull before readjusting his balance. So he's now sort of standing on the side of the creature as it's on the floor. So he manages to stay on top of it.
Yeehaw!
How long has Rusev been on top now? Has it been longer than 8 seconds?
Probably not quite, but he's not quite, because he only did that last action. So he's only been on a couple of seconds. So he got on, stabbed it, and then from his perspective, the creature immediately fell over, and he sort of rolled and stayed on top of it.
Rusev, you only have to stay on for 8 seconds, and we win. Them's the rules.
Okay.
Fetus, it's now your turn.
Okay. I'm just going to have to keep going with this shock wand. Actually, no. I can't apply any more effort. Shit. How far am I from this thing?
You're close to it, but it's sort of rolled on its side a bit, so you can hit it pretty easily. I mean, it's still writhing around a bit, but it's not moving anywhere, so you can back off, or you can retreat from it quite easily if you needed to.
So it's the chance of my hitting it is quite high.
Yes, it'll be modified 1 step in your favour.
Okay, let's.
So you're trying to hit hit 9.
I'll go for a swing with the shock wand to the neck again.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. You move the shock wand down weakly but quickly onto the creature's neck, and you see the skin around it begin to crystallize, and it's almost connecting up to where you hit it earlier on the cheek.
Okay.
So if you hit either of those points again with the shock wand, it will shatter.
Excellent.
Roll your depletion.
Yes.
And the wand retains charge. Largs. The creature is now sort of prone before you. Rusev is on top of it, so don't hit him. Other than that, thrust away.
Alright. I don't trust in my ability to kill it immediately, so I am going to use my bash skill and go for a bash, but not put any effort into it because I am slack and part of the dice.
Okay, you strike out with the hilt of your weapon for a bash.
18. Wow.
And,
Nailed it.
yeah, you'll still get +2 damage onto your bash attack, but 1 less from the bash, but it still does 8 points of damage.
That's nuts.
Okay, so you sort of get it in the guts where you'd open it up before. You probably hit it in the liver or its other internal organ.
Got it in the duodenum.
The creature is now wheezing and struggling quite a bit, so you don't think it will take much more to defeat it. And you've sort of winded it, so it can't act quite as easily. Ranger.
I guess I'll take a swing at it.
Okay. You thrust down onto the creature. Because it is impaired twice from both Blargs and from the great shot that Scrapper took on it, your blow connects. You thrust your sword deep within the creature's body, and you see it sort of wheeze a little bit more and die. You are now all out of combat,
Oh,
and
thank
the
God.
creature is slain. Blugs, you can recover your cipher from where it had it held in its tongue.
Huzzah!
Can I recover the bolts that I fired? The one that missed and the one that's in the leg?
You can recover the bolts that you fired. Fetus, would you like to roll some recovery rolls?
Can I just recover?
Yes. So it's 1d6 plus your tier, which is tier 2.
Excellent.
So yeah, you can roll.
Oh.
You can roll one of those
Oh,
immediately.
no.
Oh, you rolled a natural one.
Ouch. You can roll another one if you would like to, or take a short break of about 10 minutes.
Anyone?
I'm pretty good.
I'm just giving my crossbow a good pat on the head, just like, yeah, good shot, buddy.
Alright, let's continue then.
You don't want to make a second recovery roll?
Well, if no one else is going to.
You need
Well, we
it,
can
though.
search the room while you rest.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can,
excellent.
we can
That works.
just look around.
Go and bandage yourself up.
Excellent.
That's more like it. Okay, so your might pool. I assume those are all going into your might pool.
Surprisingly, no.
What?
Yep.
Your speed pool's getting pretty low too, isn't it?
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
Okay.
Too bad.
You are a nano, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just
Which
like.
means I have restrictions on healings.
Yeah, I always thought like a nano was like a techie wizard sort of thing. So I'm surprised you don't have any like magical, mechanical, technological
Oh,
stuff.
actually, I'm not sure if it's still ripe or whether it's just rotten or something, but I've still got that plant matter from the garden way back when. The synth plant that kind of melted into me and provides between 6 and 8 points of mechanical healing.
Okay, you can use that. Yes, from the all the way back
Yeah.
in wherever that was. So you can
Oh
roll
my
well
God.
between 6 and 8.
So I rolled a D2, a coin.
Roll a d3. So 6, 7, or 8.
Oh, 6.
6 points. So you recover 6
Excellent.
points. All the way back in the Cillian Basin.
Yeah, that was a ways back.
It's been there for a while then.
But it's still good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's slightly healthy-ish, kind of.
Yes. So you now, now you look around the room. There's not too much of interest in here because the creature had eaten anything that had held a charge. There's some old devices. Looks like old little ciphers and bits and pieces. But there's nothing that nothing that you think could be repairable. You might be able to salvage some junk for it, but to get a charge back in these things, you've got no idea how. So, would you like to continue up to the next level?
Yep. I'll be keeping to the rear of the party, just keeping an eye on behind us.
Plugs,
I'm
charge
just-
forward.
Yeah, I'm just curious, considering your how we first found you, Scrapper. You reckon you could probably cobble together at least some of this wreckage into a one functional cipher?
Well,
I'll let you do an intellect roll on some of the scrap and the cipher that
yeah, I'll give it a
the
bash.
musical cipher that Rusev lost before.
I'll give it a bash, and I'll also put 1 point of effort into it, because why not? Being an intellect roll, it only cost me 1 point to put effort into it, so I'll do that.
Okay.
And go. Go my dice.
Dang.
19. Boom. Didn't need to. But there you go. I got it anyway.
Okay, so looking at some of the scrap in this room, you think that there's a couple of items that you still might be able to use. You'll need an energy source to charge a battery on it, or charge a little energy cell. But you think you can cobble together a small explosive cipher from it. That energy, you'll either have to find an energy source here, or wait until you're back in civilization and you can charge it over time. So you either need something that can shock it charged very quickly, or something that will that you'll be able to set it to charge overnight or something like that. But you think, with some time, you'll have a small gas bomb. You've found a small gas cylinder of some mysterious gas that you think might be something that's mind-numbing. So you think it's something that deals intellect damage. A small cylinder of gas.
Try it.
Crush grenade into charging.
Yep, and that will do a. Let me just roll a d6. Oh, okay. I'll do quite a bit. That'll do 8 points of intellect damage for 1d6 rounds, which you roll at the time. To any creature caught within it. So that could be baddies or it could be goodies, but you need to charge it first.
I guess I won't know the range of that until I actually use it, as in the range of effect.
That's right.
Okay. No, cool. I'll carry that with me, and I'll charge it at a later time. Don't need it.
Okay. Would you like to move up a floor?
I vote
Gotta
that
remember to do that
Bloods
from now on. That's awesome.
I vote that
I
I
would
charge
like
up to the next floor.
I would like to say that, Blugs, you've done good for these 2 floors. I think it's time to share the burden.
Oh, alright.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep me to the rear, keeping a watch behind us with the crossbow out.
Okay, so you move up a floor and open the hatch. As you move up there, across the room, there is a man sitting on a pile of debris. He looks at you and just says, "Help me." And that's where I'll leave it for tonight.
That bloke.
It's that bloke, yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
And so, yes, you found the
Cool.
mysterious figure leaving on the thing. So, yeah, hopefully after that session, I tried to get rid of some of your ciphers, because I know you were all worrying about how many ciphers you had.
Apparently I have none.
I just added one more to my collection. Very good one too. Holy crap!
And you've still got, you've now got that cipher bag, which you can store a couple of extras in.
Indeed.
I honestly need to go and actually record what we have, because I don't think anyone really knows what we have anymore.
You've
No.
used a couple of them. You've lost your one that's
Hang on.
got the musical tone activated.
So can I now hold 7 ciphers?
Theoretically, yes.
Cool.
But one of them is the mystery cipher that you haven't identified, that you think
Yes.
might be armor related.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we have also a kind of staff or something?
That was an artifact, yeah.
Yeah.
No one's used that yet.
What
The
is it
staff-
again? I thought.
The shock
Just what-
staff.
Wasn't the staff in Tiggs's possession?
Probably.
Yes,
He's
he
gone.
was using
so
it. No, he was
that's-
using it in the Citadel. I remember.
That's gone now.
Yeah, he's taking it with him. That jerk.
Skipped out on you.
Ah.
Took the
I
loot
don't-
with
I don't-
him.
I think Adan took any with him, and I don't think
Or no.
Aura took any with her. So, well, they took the ones that they started with, but they didn't take any of your extra ones. But unfortunately, Tiggs took Tiggs took it with you.
Actually, aside from the 3 that Akabe got us, we pretty much used all of the rest of them. Aside from that might, that patch that restores might, as well as that ring that contains a syringe of poison.
Yep, because you did.
No, I used the poison ring.
You used it.
I've already
Okay.
got one.
Yeah.
I've already got one of those myself as well that I got when I first started. So
Yep, you did throw a couple of them back in your battles back in Chambon.
Mm.
yeah, I did.
You
And
threw-
I fell badly with that
yeah,
grenade.
you missed one that you threw at Roller K, although he managed to dodge pretty much everything you thrown at him.
Yeah, it was basically just like
He was-
I think the first time I damaged him was when I did a point blank shot with Pierce and got him in the neck.
Yeah, he. As I said at the time, he wasn't that tough. You guys were just rolling awful.
We didn't have Blargs' super battle axe.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we didn't. Guy was
He
all
was
flexed
not
out.
present. Now, Lef, when are you gone?
I leave on the 25th.
Of July.
Of July, not today. I'm
Not today, no.
clearly still here. Yeah.
Okay, so you've still got 1 or 2 sessions, which you'll still be around for.
Correct.
Good. Cool. One thing I was going to ask you guys as well, because we've sort of dropped from the sort of big player number we started with, are you happy just keeping with with this group, or would you like to invite someone else to join, maybe?
We get like 5 a week, and if Nova's here, that's a full 6. So it's up to you guys.
I'm actually fine with this number now because I think it's just it's not absolutely chaotic and it's still enough that we're still a force to be reckoned with in any kind of situation. So
Yep. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I just wanted to check to see if you guys felt it was a bit, you were having it a bit tough, or you didn't think there was enough in the group. But if you're happy with that, we'll keep it as it's going.
well, yeah, we did have the odd week of only having 3 of us, but that wasn't really a pretty big problem. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind with sticking with this number.
Okay,
If someone's looking to join, there's still the thing with me disappearing.
Well, then there'll still be 5.
Yeah, if Nova can get back in.
I've also talked to Red about eventually retiring my character.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not able to, like, even like 7:30 Sydney time, 8 o'clock Sydney time can sometimes be difficult for me to make. And I've been like stuck back at work, kind of in intermittent weeks. And I just kind of, for me personally, I hate being only there every couple of weeks, so you guys can't rely on me. So until I kind of sort out my situation with work, I was thinking of maybe just taking a step back, kind of once we finish this chapter or whatever, this episode. So I don't know if that maybe with 2 people gone for a little while, you do want to have somebody else step up into the game.
Sort your shit out, Maud.
Yeah.
No, well, it's funny you say that because I almost had work trouble that kept me back. And actually literally got home on time to join this call, so I was lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy as a GM if if you've got other stuff to do, and if you can drop in and out, I'm happy to keep running it that way. I always assume that your character is just hanging back at the back of the party and neither causing trouble or getting into trouble.
Or sleeping like you were.
Or sleeping.
Fair
Like,
enough,
I assume you're along for the ride, you're just not contributing.
Sure. And I don't know, like, possibly things could just get sorted out in the next 2 weeks, and then it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's your choice. If you want to stay in the game, I'm happy. If you want to, take a sabbatical, that's also fine.
In any
Alright,
case,
well,
I'm sure Red and Red can figure out an excuse, and I can probably elaborate on that excuse and the recaps in terms of like where you've gone off to, and you've come back from an epic sort of treasure hunting party, and now you've come back with loot.
I have
So
magic bottle caps.
Decided to have live the quiet life for a little while. Yeah, cool. Anyway, gents, so the next session, where are we? Will be the 9th of July. If that's good with everyone.
That should be good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Works for
Okay.
me so far as I'm aware.
Okay. So I will chat to you again. Well, in this format, then, if not sooner.
Alrighty.
Alright. Cool.
Enjoy your week.
Cheers, guys.
Nice man.
Later, all.
Alright,
Thanks,
catch you later.
everyone.
Alright. See you stream.